Okay, then there we go. That took 47 seconds to come live. I'll tell you what, LinkedIn's got to do something about that, because that's like I'm sitting here going, "Are we live? Are we not? Are we live? Are we not?" And you just can't tell until finally you go live, and then you've wasted 45 minutes or 45 seconds sitting there looking like a donkey. And then anyway, happy Monday, everybody. It's cold. It's wet in Sydney. It's freezing in Sydney. Actually, I've got the heater on. You probably hear the washing machine going in the background. Work-life balance. I've got the clothes being washed, and this is going to be a first because we're going to have our team meeting on LinkedIn Live. Yep, this will be the first time ever that you've witnessed a team meeting going live on LinkedIn. Okay, so as the team pop in, I'm going to drop them on to the stream, and we can have a bit of a chin wag. Are we actually live? I can't even tell. Anyway, I'm going to add Phoebe's here. Hey, Phoebe. Rebecca's here. Oh no, Vicky's here. No, actually, Rebecca's off sick.
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
She struggled last week, so I'm glad she's having a little day to herself.
Yeah, well, she's been busting her arse like crazy. I mean, literally, this whole platform thing that we've got going on has been completely mental. I'm surprised she's got any fingers left after all the data entry she's been doing.
I know, right? It's been full on, but
oh, Jay-Z's here. Oh, look, trust him to join me. That is bloody
Jimmy.
Jimmy, put your camera on. We're live on LinkedIn, as they say in Asia.
Oh man, LinkedIn. Well, I'm about to catch a flight, so I'm in the middle of my bags, running around, trying to get my flight back to Adelaide. So,
where are you?
Melbourne, but heading to Adelaide, see my family quickly.
Nice. What device are you on?
I am using my iPhone. So if you saw my face, it would just be like the underside of my chin, which is my ugly side. So.
But for those that don't know, Jimmy is really good looking.
Oh, not as good looking as Drake, apparently.
Greg. Hold on, who's that?
Oh, Jimmy, it's nice to have you on. And I'm surprised you can jump on this live on your phone. I didn't know StreamYard allowed that. So looks like it's had some changes recently.
So, Jimmy, what time's your flight?
4:10.
Okay, so you got 20 minutes or so to sit down and have a chinwag with us.
To some extent, absolutely. Let's do it.
Yes, there we go. Well, you know what? It's been a crazy month already. There's so much stuff going on. You know, I know Phoebe's kicking goals in marketing. There's so many stuff. So Phoebe, tell us what's going on in the marketing world.
Well, it's very exciting. We have our partnership launch this week with Communitia, and that's going to be coming out tomorrow. So there'll be details about that, and also an event on Thursday. So that's going to be taking place with both Communitia and Felix Mobile. So, you know, there'll be some really awesome conversations with Kelly, with Victor on that panel discussion. You've got a live interview with Mary Beth, who is going to be talking to us about how to engage senior leaders. So there's a lot happening as well in the back end where, you know, we're obviously uploading podcast interviews as well with By the Bay. So heaps happening. And obviously, you know, we've got like video shorts that are coming out on YouTube really soon as well. So yeah, lots going on.
There's wow. And Mary Beth, for those that don't know, is the CIO of PointsBet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a very, very big supporter of the whole Meet Magic thing, which is very cool. I remember reaching out to Beth on LinkedIn on Messenger saying, "Hey, you're going to take a meeting?" She goes, "Yeah, absolutely." She really, really loved it, which is very cool. But marketing, Phoebe, I just sent an email out this morning and the Monday update, and it was I don't know if you saw it, but it was basically an update that said about what we're doing, and I can't help but think there's so much stuff going on now in the marketing world, but you know, we don't do any of that silly stuff that everybody else does. We spend no time on SEO, which is crazy, and I know we should, and I know we have to get better at that, but we don't. We spend no time on all those old sales qualified BANT scoring, which is what I know most of our clients in the 1980s used to use. This is like whether or not you've got a budget and a need and all that sort of stuff. We don't spend any money whatsoever on content syndication. We don't do any trade. Well, we've done one trade show in our entire life, but we don't buy any Google ads or anything like that. All we do is the one thing that works best for every single one of our clients, and that's connect them for conversations. And that's where the real magic happens, because I think when you start to put all the pieces together, your stories, the client's interest into your target market, and you put all that into one mix. Well, I don't think many marketers think that way, but I think we're actually in a golden era of marketing at the moment, and Meet Magic can be a big lever for them to help with their growth. And marketing side of things for me is always a how much you're putting out there. It's constant content, right? You've got to constantly keep putting stuff out there, and I think it's about visibility. But this is the very first time I think anyone's dared to have a team meeting so I better act like a professional.
Absolutely. I was just saying that normally it's the other way around, where I've got to push out my clients to jump on live, and totally agree with what you said there, Carl, because it is about consistency. It's about giving value. It's about staying relevant. It's about keeping up with the news, keeping up with trends, but also just being willing to show up live and be authentic. And that's what people are engaging with at the moment. So for you to suggest a team meeting live, I thought, why not? That's, how much more transparent can you be?
Exactly right. Jimmy's dropped off. I think he's scared. That's okay. He'll come back. So Vicky, yeah, exactly. So it's a big week in marketing, and I can't help but think all it takes is just one person. I reckon, Phoebe, tell me if I'm correct here. I reckon most of the people that engage with us don't engage with us online. I think they see us, they watch us. I think they're lurking in the background, but I don't think they like and comment on the post. I think they see stuff in the background and then come and engage directly. Do you think that's a thing?
Absolutely. Because, well, obviously people's times are limited at the moment as well. And there's so much news and content out there, but every time they see a post, they're remembering it's like a tick box. Like there's so many number of ticks that you get before someone will engage you. It's like touch points, right? And so people are going to eventually reach out. And what we are finding, and Vicky can confirm that, is people are directly contacting us or going onto the connect.meetmagic.org website and jumping on because they see the value in this platform, in having meetings for good, and in doing something as easy as having a 45-minute meeting that gives back to their favorite charities. So social media is one of those things these days where the accounts that are getting the most engagement, where people are spending all day long on like Instagram or TikTok, they're not necessarily the ones that are really making that, making that contribution or really moving the dial. But the ones that are, you might not necessarily see it as a reflection on their business page, but there is a lot happening in the background. And I'm sure Vicky can tell us more about that.
Yeah, I know she will, and Vicky's doing a crazy job at the moment. But Phoebe, you came to us, and the alignment in purpose was kind of huge, because you've got a background in helping end slavery, right? Well, you've got a passion in this. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, that's right. So in 2014, I discovered that every 30 seconds, someone becomes a slave to, a victim of modern day slavery. And it's just something that not a lot of people talk about. But at the same time, we're seeing that, there's more awareness coming around now in the last few years. But only 1% of victims ever get rescued. And it's something that's really, it's really sad. It's obviously very heavy. It's not something that people talk about and go, oh, I can make a difference. Like there's about 40.3 million people enslaved at the moment, and those numbers are rising. So, that's something that was actually the thing that got me into business in the first place. Before marketing, before Thrive and Shine and all of that, I was just selling matcha tea to give back 50% of a bag of Japanese ceremonial tea to my favorite charities. And then I discovered Meet Magic, and you guys are doing the same, but on a huge scale, on a large scale, you know, where you're doing something that meets people's demands, meets, you know, it's solving a problem, but giving back at the same time. So it's effortless.
You know what? It's so true. And one of the things about slavery, which we often don't think about, is often when I hear the word slavery, we think about sexual slavery, we think about kids and girls being trafficked. But slavery comes in so many different forms. I remember going to meet with the CFO of Channel 10 to try and get her to sign up to Meet Magic, and she said no anyway. But she told me the reason why she said no was because she was supporting, I think she was on the board of a slavery charity, and this particular charity was helping end slavery in so many different areas. But the one key one was people that were actually put on boats, pushed out to sea to actually fish for weeks and weeks on end, and they were literally slaves at sea. You can't get off the boat.
Oh,
It's one of those things. I thought they're put to work, and they're not paid. They're literally slaves on a boat in the middle of the ocean fishing, which for me was just absolutely crazy. So is that something you're still focused on, Phoebe? You're still looking into that as a side hustle?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that, you know, I think I'll be dedicating, you know, like my work to that. Like it's something I am still very, very passionate about. And I think I think all businesses should be aligned with a cause. Like I think when we are purposeful, it makes our work meaningful. And so, you know, like regardless of whether I'm doing Matcha Sisters now or Thrive and Shine or marketing, it's really good to know that there is that what I'm doing, part of it goes back to the charities and all the, you know, the things that I support and that I'm passionate about. So yeah, absolutely, definitely. And it's really great to see charities like Hagar, you know, A21 and all that be, you know, supported now, and to have more support. And you know, we're seeing that there's obviously more victims of modern day slavery being freed, and there's, you know, we're hearing it on Light FM as well. You know, they ran a campaign literally, I think it was on last week on Tuesday, I think it was, where they were you know, giving back to anti-modern day slavery charities. So it's great to hear that the word is coming out and it's spreading, that's for sure.
There's so many causes out there that need support. And, you know, it's Monday. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon. And I've just watched us, Meet Magic, give $30,000 to 3 different charities. It's Monday. Do you know? Let me say that again. It's Monday, and we've just given $30-something thousand to charity. I mean, this is the business that we're in, which I feel like when I say I'm broke, but I'm rich inside. I'm not joking, because you know that the money, the thing that we're doing every day, the thing that, look, let me just introduce Vicky, because this not everyone's met Vicky before, but all the executives will probably recognize her dulcet tones from Portland. But Vicky is a professional darts player, and as you know, Vicky's our head of customer experience, and has been with us for probably 18 months now, and has been on the journey with us as we've been growing and growing. And Vicky, tell us a little bit about what you do, because everyone, it's an interesting world where you sit, because you are basically the conduit for everything that we do. Actually, you're a single point of failure. If you get run over, we're screwed. So tell us a little bit about what you do, Vicky, so everyone can understand.
Yeah, so I work with both sides. So I work with the members and the executives. So when a request comes through from our members, they'll either go to Rebecca or myself, and then I go ahead and we start reaching out to our lovely executives that we've got on the platform to book the meetings in. So yeah, I liaise with both sides. I work with the execs if they feel it's a valuable meeting, because you know, it's not just the members requesting them. We want to make sure that it's a valuable meeting for the executives as well. So it's just working with them and making sure that will be something that they'll get something out of it, aside from the charity aspect of the meetings, which is obviously an incredible impact for them, having a 45-minute conversation with our members. So it's we want to make sure that they get value out of it as well. So we have lots of requests coming through, lots of members on board, and then it's just liaising and working with the exec's diary. We totally understand how busy people are at the minute. So the amount of meetings that we're locking in the diaries is incredible. They're giving us their time, because it's just one after the other. So we really appreciate that the execs are putting aside this 45-minute in their calendar, given that, and they do juggle things with our meetings as well. So really appreciate that they are enjoying the meetings, and they are getting value out of it, and they love the charity side of things. It resonates a lot with them. The charities mean a lot to our execs. They get to choose out of 4, so one of the 4 are going to mean something to them. So it's a mad world, but we're getting through it.
So tell me, look, so Vicky, I know what you're doing is amazing. This is your first time on LinkedIn Live, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
we did something live before. What was it again? And you pressed live before, and I was having technical problems, and then that was me pushed into going in live. So I can't remember what it was that we did.
You're a complete natural, by the way. And so June, let's have a look at this. So we've just been talking before we came on. Yeah. How's June going so far? Yeah,
so far we've got 60 meetings locked in for June. I'm just waiting on one confirming, which is 60. The highest 60, which is the highest that we've had this year, which is amazing as well, because if you think of it, we're coming to the end of the financial year, which is really a crazy time for a lot of executives. They've got budgets or whatever that they've got to look at, and so to get to this number at this point in the year is incredible. And then hopefully as we move on to July, people will start freeing up a little bit more time. So that's an amazing number for the coming out to the end of the financial year.
That's incredible, by the way. It's not an amazing, that's incredible. When you think that every one of those 60 meetings in June is going to give $700 to a charity, that's a lot of money that's going to charity.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then we've really seen an increase as well in our Singapore market, which is really exciting. We've got an influx and meetings coming through for Club Rainbow, which is based in Singapore. So every meeting for there supports 10 low-income families, which is an amazing impact. So
that for me is probably one of the biggest things. One of the biggest outcomes of a business meeting. So a new connection, a new discovery. So you turn up, you have a new discovery meeting or a new connection, just like a coffee meeting. And then at the end of it, 10 low-income families get fed for a whole month. That is just a remarkable thing to think about. We don't even think about these things when we're sitting down in our homes eating food. When you think in Singapore, there's low-income families up there who are struggling to find food.
And how easy it is to raise that money as well, like what we're doing at the minute. We're sitting on a Zoom call or whatever, just having a conversation. It's effortless raising for charity, isn't it?
So speaking of effortless, have you got a view on who are the top execs this month who we can call out? Who are the ones that have had the most meetings in June?
I've got to give it to Lewis Eugenia from Macquarie Bank. I had a look, and I'm like, he pops up. He never turns down a meeting. He's incredible. Will always fit us into his diary. He's done 17 meetings. 17.
Wow.
Just him himself. So he's got to be up there.
So for everyone who doesn't know, Lewis Eugenia is the Chief Digital Officer of Macquarie Bank.
That's right, yeah.
And this is the Meet Magic platform. Lewis takes these. Now, Lewis has told me a couple of times that he gets 300 requests for meetings a week. And he tells his EA just to say no to all of them because he just can't. He can't filter them all properly. But he takes the Meet Magic meetings because he can see who's coming and he can see what value it's actually going to add to his day or to his week or to a current project or a future project, which is the whole point of these meetings. Beautiful.
Thank you, Lou. As well, that's $11,900 that's gone to charity just from those meetings.
Yeah,
so that's a fantastic effort.
That's
He's
incredible.
a great executive, great to work with, and Louisa as well, who's his EA. They've been fantastic supporters. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So Lewis is number one. I hope he's coming to dinner on the 14th. We better drag him and his EA out, and Louisa.
Yeah. Both lovely supporters. Brad Blythe is the CIO of Kmart. He's taken 11 meetings himself as well, which is
Wow.
amazing. And again, he'll the only time that he'll ever say no is if he doesn't want to waste anyone's time. Is that maybe the topic's not quite aligned with their area, which is what the platform will eliminate. So that's the only time, and it's lovely that they actually say, very transparent as well, that they say, I don't want to waste anyone's time. I wouldn't add value to that meeting because it's not my area of expertise, which is, and it's great feedback to go back to the members. And it's something that we've taken on board as well and implemented into the platform to get rid of that and make sure that when they are connected, they're both aligned in what they're talking about. So thank you to Brad Blythe from Kmart. He's done 11 meetings, and again, he rarely turns down a request that we get through for him. I think he averages must be recently one every month, max one every 2 months, I'd say.
We love you, Brad. Thank you so much. And Brad's got a Meet Magic pen as well, apparently.
Yeah, amazing. So and then the couple other ones after that as well are Breville have been a really great supporter. We've got the CFO and the head of technology, Stuart Hamilton. They're both amazing, really lovely to deal with. You'll call them up and they'll be like, yeah, here's my time, or they've been great, both of them. Martin and Stuart from Breville have been fantastic with and great supporters of Meet Magic. And then, of course, we can't leave out Jaminda, who's done 8 meetings from the head of security from
SC.
Yes, that's the one.
CSC. Commonwealth Superannuation. Jaminda's a legend.
Yep. And then he's tying with Jason Blackman, the CEO of Car Sales.
Oh,
He's been fantastic as well. So yeah, we've got a great range of execs from big corporations that are supporting Meet Magic, which is
it's so good, and I can't thank all of them enough. We're having a dinner on the 14th of July. You're coming up for that, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, no drinking, okay?
No drinking. Just have a little Diet Coke.
Do you know? I'm joking, by the way. You can we have to have many champagnes while you're here. I just want to share a couple of slides because we talk about meetings not wasting time, right? We talk about the amount of meetings that execs have because they just get pulled into meetings left, right, and center, and ultimately a lot of those meetings have zero outcome. And Atlassian, as you all know, did an internal study. And this internal study was to show that we actually waste a lot of time at work. And one of the things that they've discovered, they actually discovered 3 things. The first one was excessive email. And they said that the average person at Atlassian gets 304 emails a week, and that they check their email 36 times every hour. Now, the sad reality of that is that they lose 10 IQ points every time they check their email, but that's the same as missing an entire night's sleep, which is absolutely nuts. The second thing that everyone at Atlassian was talking about was constant interruptions. And they say the average employee gets 56 interruptions per day at Atlassian, and they basically have 3 minutes working before they're interrupted, before they have to switch tasks. And that in itself is also crazy. But the even crazier thing is that they spend 2 hours recovering from distractions every day. Now, this is our favorite one. The third one, pointless meetings. Now, the average Atlassian employee has 62 meetings every month, and half of them are wasted. That's a whole week almost worth of hours lost every month, which is absolutely incredible. And when you think about the average employer or the average meeting goer at Atlassian, these are some of the things that they've said they do during meetings. 91% said they daydreamed. Now, I know I have daydreamed a lot of time in meetings. 39% said they slept. 73% said they did other work, and that includes a side hustle. 47% complained that meetings were number one waste of time in the office. Now, if you think all that's crazy, this figure is even crazier. $45,000 US per year per employee is the salary cost of unnecessary meetings. That works out to be about $37 billion a year. Now, Phoebe, you tell me, how much slavery could you end with $37 billion?
Oh, that would be a lot. Like that's a huge amount, because honestly, that time, especially just looking at the amount of time that's wasted, that could be used on educating people and teams about modern day slavery, about the chain as well, the human trafficking chain, and that's an exorbitant amount. Crazy.
Anyway, so that's our team meeting. What's your goals for the week, Phoebe and Vicky? Tell us the one thing that you both want to accomplish this week, and we're going to hold you to it. And this is, by the way, this is something that's really interesting for those that are out there with startups. We don't have tasks, do we, Vicky? We don't come to work every Monday and go, here's the tasks for the day. We just turn up and get on with the work. We have these. We're sort of working towards just outcomes rather than tasks. And it's like Phoebe and Vicky have to set your own goals for the week and do your own things. And this is where how does that? Do you feel like that actually works? Because in my world, that's what they call transformational leadership, which is meant to be helping you get to your target, not my target.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that definitely works for me, because I feel like I feel like no one really knows what I do on a day-to-day, because if there's questions on execs or on certain meeting cases, no one really knows where they're at apart from me. So that's what is really hard for me to let go of the meetings, because I'm like this. I've spent 18 months really getting this how it is at the minute. So and I'm working through all the wait lists, working through, if anyone's had a large project coming up and knowing when to then go back to them. And so I think for me, my goals is obviously getting as many meetings over the line as what we can. The more we can get through, the higher the impact it is on the charities. So my goal, I'd say we're at 60 at the minute. So if we can get another 10 by the end of the week, I'd be for June. I'd be really happy with that. We're obviously starting to look at July's getting booked up now as well, which is good. But
so you've got 60 in already for June, and you're actually booking them in for July as well. Yeah.
So a lot of the execs have availability. We have to look in advance because of obviously what their diaries are like. So we're right up to October. We've got meetings booked in.
So if I said to you, how many meetings have you actually either taken or booked in June and July, that'd be more than 70 already.
Oh yeah, you're probably looking. Oh god, because we've got like August, September. It just depends, and then some execs as well, which have been fantastic. Roxanne Sotland, I will shout out to her. She's given me 3 consecutive months of dates. So we've got June, July, August. July, August, September.
And who's Roxanne?
Roxanne is from New Zealand. Sorry, I totally Southern Cross Health Society. She's from the Chief Digital Officer.
Just so you know, that is a huge organisation, and you've got the Chief Digital Officer, Roxanne, giving you 3 dates. That tells you the impact that we're making here for Cure Kids and for Brendan and the team over there at Cure Kids. Just the fact that execs are prepared to do this and give up 45 minutes once a month. It's like, come on, it's nothing.
Same with Steve Jerkovich from Kiwi Bank. I think we're up to November for his diary now. So we get a lot of it in advance. So it just means that they're slammed for the next few weeks. But if we forecast it and we can just lock in a 45-minute, then we've got it ahead of the diary. So so I just sort of look at the month as we come to the end of June, but then we've got a lot forecasted for the rest of the year, really.
It was really interesting what you just said about, which actually just landed on me quite heavily, about people not knowing what you do. And that's something I'm conscious of because I know how much you do. And I think sometimes we have to not just acknowledge that, but just let people see it somehow. And I'm going to do better to try and make that happen, because it's a huge role that you've got. And one of my focuses this week is to try and find people to support you, because it's such a big job and there's such a lot of stuff that needs. I'm full of goose pimples, Vicky. It's such a big job, and you need all the support you can get. And I just know it's that we get this right in with the whole customer success thing, and it grows. And I think the new platform that we're building is going to take a lot of the pain away, hopefully.
So that's the next thing as well. That's exciting. I'm working with Jimmy this week on onboarding and things for the new platform, which is I'm so excited to get that underway and see where we go with that as well.
Should we give everyone a sneak peek about what the platform is? Shall I do it? All right. I'll do it. I'll give them a sneak peek into what's coming, because this is a clickable prototype that I'm going to show you. But for everybody out there, is there anybody out there? Oh, look who's on there, Lewis. So these are actual executives who have taken lots of meetings. Sharmila, Miley Carnegie, and Lewis have been 3 amazing supporters. So if you consider yourself a salesperson or a business development person or someone that wants to get access to senior business leaders, you can log on to Meet Magic and you can be matched. So what we're doing is we're taking some information off you up front, and then we're using that information to match you. So if you say that you're in data analytics and then you want to meet with CTOs who care about data analytics, well, that's what you'll get matched with. And so you'll only get 2 or 3 of these matches a day, only because they will be hyper targeted for you. So they'll be perfectly suitable for you to write a specific email to. So here's what you do. You click on the Sharmila meeting and you can see on the right-hand side what she cares about and what she's convinced about, and you can request a meeting. And what happens is, now you can tailor make something to Sharmila, because Sharmila is going to actually get this. So you write about a title, give her a title that obviously will resonate with her, compose your message and type something in there. You'll have to have credits in our Meet Magic system. Just otherwise you can't play. It's a bit like going to a hotel room. If you want to use the fridge, you've actually got to pay for what's in the fridge. You send the request off, and Sharmila will actually get an email that says, "Hey, there's people that want to meet with you." Sharmila can then log on to her side of the platform, where she'll see those 4 people that want to have a chat, and she can see Jenny's email there. She can look at it and she can read it, and she can see that it's totally aligned to what she cares about, which is analytics in a new hybrid world. And she can say, yes, I'm interested in that meeting. Or if she's not, she can decline it. If she's interested, she can suggest a time, send the meeting off, and that will now automatically put the calendar in both people's inboxes. This is just taking away God knows how many emails backwards and forwards that would normally flood an inbox. And we know that inboxes are too full already, so we're sort of taking away some of those backwards and forwards, which is really good. You off you go and have that meeting, and you can do it face to face, virtual. You can do it however you want to, and of course at the end of that meeting, the money goes obviously to charity, and then we send all the emails and all the follow-ups and surveys and so on, and that is it. That is going to be one of the most simple ways to connect with someone, but more importantly, make use of an executive's time in a better way than it's being used today. Because we know just from the experience and the conversations we've been having with all these execs, they get too many meetings that actually shouldn't have happened. And so this is a great way for them to have meetings that really are curated and purposely matched, which is beautiful. And that's all coming over the next. Priyanka's meant to be here. Where is she? Priyanka, are you watching? Our CTO is meant to be here, but I think she's got camera shy. I don't think she's. It's only us lot that are cold calling and that are in marketing that have that are brave enough to do this. Those nerds can't do it. Anyway, ladies, have a great week. Thanks for being brave and coming on here. And I know you're going to go away feeling proud that you've actually done this, because it's not easy to jump on a LinkedIn Live.
Well, I know, if you can get up in front of 250 people and do a speech.
Hold on, let's clarify that. As a male, I jumped up in front of 250 women. And did a speech. That was even scarier.
You did very well.
Very, very good. Have a great week, ladies.
You too.
Bye, Phoebe.
Speak to you all soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.